Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our presentation of Freeport Mcmoran Peru. This is a TGM 101 project. My name is Celerino Valentin,
And I'm
and
Kevin Tusi.
we are here to present again Freeport Mcmoran Peru. So here I present to you the Cerro Verde Mining Company in Peru. Next slide, please. So what is Freeport Mcmoran? Freeport Mcmoran is a leading international mining company based in Phoenix, Arizona. The portfolio of assets of Freeport Mcmoran includes the Grasberg Minerals District in Indonesia, Morenci Minerals in North America, and the Cerro Verde in South America. It is a founding member of the International Council on Mining and Metals, which Kevin will expand later on. It is publicly traded in the New York Stock Exchange with the ticker FCX. Next, please. So, Freeport Mcmoran Peru, which is the Cerro Verde Mining Company, is an open pit copper molybdenum mining complex located 20 miles southwest of Arequipa, Peru. Its ownership, a majority of it is owned by Freeport Mcmoran, which is 53.56%, 21% by Cerro Verde Netherlands, which is a subsidiary of Sumitomo Metal Mining Company, 19% Compañía de Minas Buenaventura, and 5.86% by the other stock shareholders whose shares are publicly traded on the Lima Stock Exchange. This ownership will be expanded again by Kevin later on. What is our overall assessment of Freeport Mcmoran in Peru? So our overall assessment of Freeport Mcmoran's business strategy of mining in Peru is that the business strategy of Freeport Mcmoran in the country of Peru is an ideal business model of what a mining company should do in terms of assessing the country, its business, and its corporate social responsibility to its stakeholders. From its mode of entry into the country to its various social projects within the local community, our prospect for this company's future is good, even if there is a change in government in the future. Due to its success, the expansion of Cerro Verde has begun. Next, please. To give you a little background of the country of Peru, Peru is located in the western South America, bordering South Pacific between Chile and Ecuador. It is the second largest producer of copper and silver, also coca leaves. Comparatively, Peru is twice the size of Texas, but slightly smaller than Alaska. Its natural hazards include earthquakes, tsunamis, floodings, landslides, and mild volcanic activity. Its current environmental issues are deforestation due to illegal logging, overgrazing causing soil erosion, desertification, air pollution in Lima, pollution of rivers and coastal waters from municipal and mining wastes, and then overfishing. Next, please. So what is our political outlook for Peru? Peru's politics has always been marred with corruption. Former President Pablo Kaczynski resigned due to alleged corruption and was succeeded by current President Martin Vizcarra. So, but with a legislative branch controlled by the majority opposition party, passing institutional reforms have always been difficult for the current government. So President Vizcarra proposed a constitutional reform to move the general elections earlier to 2020 in an effort to give Peru a fresh start. So according to the economic intelligence unit, the elections will push through, and a centralist government will take over, but will have a significant risk to the nation. There is a high probability that more public officials will be implicated in these corruption investigations. Now, with this political outlook, our economic outlook of Peru is this. In spite of Peru's political instability, One of Peru's strengths is its openness to foreign trade, secured by diverse free trade agreements with multiple nations. Its current business-friendly approach to various nations will continue and expand. It already has 17 bilateral trade deals in place, covering most of the world's largest economies. So, using the Nelson model, our country assessment of Peru will be is this. First, the flexibility of exchange rate. The Peruvian sol or the Nuevo sol is flexible. It has a stable forecast. Next would be the size of current account deficit. The forecast is low or is small and has a low current account deficit forecast. The size of budget deficit is also small, decreasing forecast. The amount of foreign reserves of Peru is large. Although it is decreasing in forecast, it will be enough to sustain external issues. The amount of foreign debt is large, but it has a decreasing forecast. The political risk, as I've said, it has a high political instability, but there will still be continuity of the economic policies. And then lastly, the contagion effect. The contagion effect is large, but with a lot of trade agreements, the diversification of trading partners softens the blow when this happens. So based on the Nelson model and the Economic Intelligence Unit forecast, Peru is a good country for Freeport Mcmoran to do or continue its mining business. So with that, I take you over to Kevin for the corporate assessment of Freeport Mcmoran.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the mode of entry here for Freeport Mcmoran, and they are majority owners of the mine, as mentioned earlier, and just over about 25% of the mine is owned by Peruvian companies or is publicly traded on the Lima Stock Exchange. And by partnering with local companies, this will prevent local government from applying unfavorable policies and taxes towards the mine and Freeport. So who is or what is Freeport? They are one of the leading international mining companies in the world. They are publicly traded. The current company is a merger of two existing companies in 1981, Freeport Minerals and Mcmoran Oil and Gas Companies. Their headquarters is in Phoenix, Arizona. They currently have operations in Africa, Europe, North America, South America, and Asia. Their main products are copper, gold, molybdenum, excuse me, and petroleum. And they're one of the founding members of the International Council of Mining and Metals, as mentioned earlier. One reason why we're bringing them up is they are an international council that was convened in 2001 that basically set up a set of rules and ethics to try and bring the mining and metals into a world together and increase the development and performance of industry as well as the communities as long as they are doing business in. Excuse me. There are 26 company members of the council, and it's headquartered in London, England. The mission statement kind of explains the whole council. The collaboration with others, we will strengthen the social and environmental performance of the mining and metals industry and build recognition of its contribution to local communities and society at large. In order to become one of the members of the council, each company has to commit to these 10 principles set forth by the ICMM. One in particular is respect human rights and the interests, cultures, customs, and values of employees and communities affected by their activities. I really like that one because it's going above and beyond what they're asked to do and what they're going to do to mine those resources out of the ground. They know they're going to pollute the waters. They know they're going to pollute the airs. So they're going to try their best to eliminate the pollution and improve the communities that they do business in. On top of that, Freeport Mcmoran has committed, in 2009, they committed $94 million to design, build, and commission a water treatment facility that would also address wastewater treatment for the community. And previously, 10% of the water in the community was treated, and none of the wastewater was treated. So with the new facilities, it will greatly improve and make all of the water treated before entering the houses and treated once it hits the wastewater facility. This not only affects the community, but also the agricultural regions downstream that use that wastewater to irrigate their farms. Another good thing that Freeport Mcmoran has been doing is the Dream Builder program. This one hits a little bit closer to home for us Thunderbird students. Freeport Mcmoran partnered with Thunderbird to create an educational curriculum to teach girls and women the fundamentals of owning and running their own business for free. This program became known as Dream Builder. Wherever Freeport Mcmoran operates, Dream Builder is offered. Along with the fundamentals of owning your own business, they offer training and networking tools. Dream Builder currently has 35,000 students enrolled across 62 countries. And in March of 2015, Thunderbird took steps and rolled out the English version of the program in the United States in association with the Small Business Administration. So there's a couple of good things that Freeport Mcmoran has done for the communities and a little bit about them. So here are some conflicts or issues that they need to be wary of. Some strikes and protests and riots. These can directly influence their company, or indirectly influence, excuse me. In spring of 2017, 1,300 workers at the Cerro Verde mine went on strike. Their demands were larger shares of the profits, better family health care and benefits, and inclusion of workers in the investigation of work-related incidents. The resolution was Freeport improved healthcare benefits and paid their workers their portion of the mine's profits a little bit earlier than scheduled. An indirect conflict would be in this past summer, anti-mining protesters made up of workers from the agricultural and civil sectors blocked roads and railroads, causing $400 million in exports from reaching the ports and supplies from reaching the mine. The Peruvian government approved the Southern Copper Tia Maria project to construct a new major open pit mine and production plant. The agricultural and civil sectors were against any new mining projects, instead favoring conservatism towards their remaining natural resources. The resolution for this was the Peruvian government suspended the permit of the mine and logistics resumed. So whether it be at their mine or at the docks, logistically, they need to be wary of all operations, mining operations inside the country, and government decisions on those mining projects. Key factors for success for Freeport Mcmoran and their path forward in Peru would be keeping the workers and their families' safety and health a top priority, maintaining positive relationships and open lines of communication with local communities, maintain positive relationship and open lines of communication with local and national governments, community outreach programs to improve the surrounding communities. Things to watch out for: unpopular government action as seen by the recent blockades from the strikes in 2019. Adhering to the ICCM principles, continue to reevaluate and update policies and procedures to improve relationships and operating conditions, and watching the global markets. with miners all over the world striking for better working conditions, pay, and healthcare. The market could fluctuate in favor or negatively. They could have issues with the having to raise their standards and having to raise their costs, or having the workers go on strike. One thing that they need to avoid is expansion. Although they just expanded in 2015, this last riot in 2019 was against more expansion. So even though they expanded in 2015, I don't think they're going to need or want to expand any further in the future. But keeping those expansions mindful and keeping an open dialogue with the locals would be in their favor. And they would also need to avoid souring relations with the local community and governments. Happy workers and happy governments don't strike and don't impose unfavorable taxes. So with that being said, we are in the position that as long as they keep basically the workers' families' safety and health in mind, and keep the environment in mind, and follow the 10 commitments by the ICMM, that Freeport will continue to do well and improve. Thank you.